results. Revenue at 3.17 billion euros, up 4.2% year over year.
Reporting third quarter sales up 4.8%. Franklin Golf Romeo.
And Fed policy will be driven by the pace of the data. Same policy will remain accommodative.
Futures on sessions low, still down about 1% on the day for a little more than 4 pennies.
Name 3 top traders and what we can learn from them as traders and investors. I've always had a lot of respect and written extreme amount about 3 guys. The first is George Soros, the second is Warren Buffett, and the third is William J. O'Neill. Now you'll notice that they have completely different strategies and styles. Warren Buffett is a very long-term investor. You know, famously his longest holding period, or his desired holding period, is forever. George Soros is more of a macro investor, going in and out of different markets, trading every kind of market: stocks, bonds, foreign exchange, commodities. And then William J. O'Neill is very much a growth stock investor. So why do I like them? There are a few things that they have in common which I think command a lot of respect. The first is that they have extraordinary track records. Soros and Buffett each have track records of 40 years or more of delivering superb returns, beating the S&P 500, which is a very challenging benchmark to beat over 40 years, and generating a lot of wealth for their investors. William J. O'Neill isn't as prominent an investor, but he also has a very successful track record. The second thing is that they have lots of disciples, lots of people who have learned from them and followed their lessons and their teachings and developed into very successful investors. That tells me that they have very, very robust, very disciplined processes, and that they teach them to other people, and that's why those other successors become, in turn, very profitable and successful as well. So one example is, well, Warren Buffett has had many, many, many followers over the years. George Soros has had a few. Stanley Druckenmiller is probably the best known. And then William J. O'Neill has also had many. And then the third is that all of these investors and traders are actually very open. So we, who aren't working for them, can actually learn a lot about what they do and how they're successful. George Soros has written many books. His first book was called The Alchemy of Finance, and it was basically his journal about the markets, what he was thinking and why, and what he was doing in the markets. And that was a great insight into the mind of a genius. It's literally like pulling up a chair next to him in the office. Warren Buffett hasn't written so much himself, but he's had a lot of people who have spent a great deal of time with him, researching his techniques and what he's doing in the markets, and then relating it on to your average reader. There's a great book called Buffettology, the biographies of Warren Buffett. So there's Snowball, and then there's The Making of American Capitalist. Those are also excellent books, and you can learn a great deal. And the third, William J. O'Neill, has written, his best-known book is How to Make Money in Stocks, but he's got many other books, and he started the publication Investor's Business Daily. So all 3 of them are great at what they do. They're so good at what they do that they've created a bunch of followers and successors who are doing the same style. And the third is that they're very open. So for us, they're the best people, the most inspiring, because we can learn a great deal from them. It's readily accessible, and we know that it works not just for them, but for a wide audience. So I would encourage you to learn more about all 3 of them, and then to follow in their footsteps.